Hey guys, it's the Inquisitive Farmwife. It's winter here in Kansas, but still lots of things to get done. Today's video, I'm going to talk about the Three Rivers Challenge. I'm going to show you a few of the meals that we made this week at home using some of the ingredients that I had canned or processed in some way or just had fresh laying around the house. First, I had some potatoes. Previously, I had canned some, and they didn't all fit in the jars, so I had extra potatoes. That makes delicious potato soup. I also previously this summer had canned some hamburger meat, and I decided that I would make a quick meal of some sandwiches because I already had some buns that needed to be used. I also had some refrigerator pickles that I had made, and they were delicious and crunchy and amazing. So those were a nice sandwich. I also had goulash this week. From the freezer, I had some peppers that needed to be used. I had some fresh hamburger. You saw I had some onions starting to sprout, so those obviously needed to be used. I had some dried pasta, some canned vegetable juice. Make sure that you drain the juice off. You're going to want to use that later. The tomatoes I had canned previously also, so I didn't need to go to the store to get those. Look at that beautiful tomato broth. So you pretty much just brown the hamburger and then just start dumping in everything else. Once you add the pasta, put that vegetable broth, that tomato juice, back in there, and you're going to cook the pasta right there in the pan. I love those one meal wonders. They're so time-saving. All I had were the whole tomatoes, so I just took a pair of my kitchen shears and I started chopping up the tomatoes, and now I have diced tomatoes in my recipe. I'm going to give that a little bit of a stir. Look how quick and easy this is. Add a little bit of sugar. That was a trick that I learned a few years back that makes a big difference. Lots of fresh ground black pepper. Make sure you're generous. Well, at least in my family. My husband loves the black pepper. I prefer to use sea salt a lot of the time, especially the pink Himalayan. It doesn't take a lot, but just go ahead and sprinkle some of that in there too, and you'll enhance the flavors of everything. Another quick stir, and then you're going to want to take the lid and cover it and let it simmer and boil until the pasta is cooked. It's starting to thicken here. I had also made some bread and wanted to save it for another meal, so I decided to go ahead and just slice everything up and have it ready for both meals. Here you can see I cut it in half, turned it on its side, and then started making the slices. That's the best way to cook or to cut these types of loaves. Look at that beautiful crumb. Wasn't that amazing? So I wrap those up. Typically, I don't want to put them in plastic, but I'm going to be using it the next day, so I wanted them to not dry out. And here's the finished goulash. It turned out really well. Oh, don't forget to add a little bit of butter on that bread. I got out a couple of pot roast and some of my homemade au jus that I had previously made, some pepperoni peppers. Grab your crock pot, then go ahead and dump your au jus sauce. Take out your whole peppers and put them on the bottom of the pan. Then I sear the roast in a cast iron skillet with a little olive oil and a little bit of butter, and it gets nice and golden brown. Go ahead and add that to the crock pot with those pepperonis on the bottom. Once both are done, dab a little extra butter on there. and start your timer, and you can walk away for the day. Come back home, pick off all the fat, the bones, and the stems. Then shred your meat and look at the beautiful broth. We're going to go ahead and want to strain that though, because there's going to be a little bits and pieces that you might miss with the spoon. I decided to go ahead and put that broth right back in with that meat, keep it nice and hot, while I went ahead and chopped up some potatoes and got those ready to go back in that cast iron skillet that we had previously used, full of flavor. And it was time to put the sandwiches together. Take your bread, go ahead and toast it with butter in the pan. Start piling the meat high, and you have a drip beef sandwich. Save some of that broth in a little bowl for dipping. Voila. I had some spinach that I had put up in the freezer, some turkey, bacon, turkey sausage, and I decided to make some zuppa toscana soup in my own version. Now this week for snacking, you can always have cheeses, almost always have some sort of variety on hand. This is my favorite. My son even made hot cocoa bombs, and that was a fun little treat to have one evening. We always have lots of milk, so we can have cereal for breakfast or oatmeal with milk on it, or maybe even some oatmeal cookies and milk. Muffins are always popular in our house. I don't make them every week, but sometimes. I had some pancakes frozen, and we always have plenty of jams and jellies to choose from to have on our toast or biscuit or whatever we have made. And of course the eggs. We're still getting eggs, so that can make a breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Then for dessert, finally, for a special occasion, I decided to make some vanilla bean ice cream. It's my sister's birthday, so I went ahead and cooked up a custard base, and I have a new ice cream maker, so I wanted to compare between the two and make 2 batches of the same ice cream to see how they would turn out. I'll have to let you know later. We're going to eat it tomorrow. Now, for a fun idea for you, you can make your own ice cream cones with the egg whites. Thanks so much for coming by and visiting with me and hearing what we had this week for the 3 Rivers Challenge January meals. Hope to see you again soon. Like and subscribe. Bye.